When Half-Life launched in 1998, it wasn't just a groundbreaking single-player experience. It came bundled with a multiplayer deathmatch mode. This mode was a fast-paced chaotic experience where players can duke each other out using the same weapons from the campaign. The multiplayer mode in Half-Life was a direct continuation of the deathmatch culture that games like Quake had established before it. People loved the skill-based combat and the sheer randomness of the matches. Valve knew they were onto something special, but they also recognized that there was a longing within the community for something even closer to the Quake experience. That's where the subject of today's video comes in. Seeing the love for Half-Life's multiplayer and the still strong Quake community, Valve decided to create a tribute to the game that had such a profound impact on the FPS genre. Deathmatch Classic was designed to give Half-Life players a taste of that classic Quake-style combat while leveraging the strengths of the GoldSrc engine. This game was supposed to be a success, right? Well, if you've heard of this game before, you know that that's not the case. Deathmatch Classic is pretty much infamous for having no players playing it. But, why is that? Today I thought of playing through this game to give in my thoughts and opinions on it. Join me as we travel through. It's literally just Quake but in Half-Life. I mean, it's got everything. Crazy movement, lots of weapons, I mean like a lot. There's like 8 of them and they all serve their own unique purpose. While I was making this video, I was lucky enough to find a server with some bots playing on it. Without it, this video probably wouldn't have existed, so shout out to that kid that spent money on a server one time and forgot to close it. The first weapon we'll cover is the crowbar. It's just a Half-Life crowbar, but when you hit something it does this weird sound. I don't like it that much. Next up is the shotgun. Every player has this when they spawn, and from what I've played, it's pretty ordinary. But a thing to note here, every weapon in the game does not require reloading, and I guess that's pretty quakey. The super shotgun is just the normal shotgun but fires double the amount of bullets the normal shotgun does. If you can aim well, this can be pretty overpowered. It takes the same ammunition as the shotgun, so if you run out of bullets, get good with the crowbar. The nailgun is an automatic double-barreled weapon that fires fast nails at long distances. From my experience, this gun is alright. The nails are not fired at the center of the screen like the others, pretty much like a TF2 syringe gun, so it took me some time to get good at it. The super nail gun is just the nail gun but it only has one barrel and the nails are fired at the center of the screen, so I think we can skip this one. The grenade launcher is a grenade launcher. You can only fire one grenade at a time, and if you don't hit someone with it, the grenades explode after 3 seconds. Also, the grenades make noise when they hit the ground, meaning you can do this. The rocket launcher is, you guessed it, a rocket launcher. It's not anything special, but you can rocket jump with it. So, that's pretty cool. The lightning gun is a mix between the gloom gun and the Tau cannon from Half-Life. And it's the most overpowered weapon in the game. It's seriously crazy the amount of damage you can do with it. You can find every weapon other than the crowbar and shotgun in certain locations on the ground. You just walk over them and you pick them up. But there are also other pickable items outside of weapons. Firstly, there are small, large and mega health packs scattered around the map that give 15, 25 and 100 health respectively. As well as green, yellow and red armor that can absorb 30%, 60% and 80% of damage given to the player. You can also find these lambda glowy things around the map that can give you special powers for 30 seconds. The first one is quad damage. It quadruples the amount of damage your weapon does. This combined with something like the rocket launcher or the lighting gun basically makes you a menace. The second one is the Ring of Shadows. It makes the player almost invisible for 30 seconds. If you ask me, this is pretty useless, but to each their own. And the last one is simply called Protection. It makes the player invulnerable to enemy attacks. For some reason when I used it and got hit, blood still spewed out of me when I didn't take any damage. Oh, and I forgot to mention that you can stack multiple powers together. It sure sounds fun. The maps in Deathmatch Classic can vary in quality. On one hand, some maps play and look really nice, but on the other, they can use some more work. Sadly, I didn't get to play all of the maps with actual players, so I will only be covering the ones I did. First one is called DCDM5. If it looks familiar, that's because it's the one I've used in the background the most. It's really open and spread out, and has every weapon close to each other. But it's pretty broken. First off, there is this button that just doesn't have a texture, and when you hit it with a crowbar it spews out blood and activates this platform next to you. And second off, the lava here does nothing. On other maps, the lava burn you to death when you touch it. But in this one, you can just chill in here like it's water. The second map is called DMC_DM2. And this might be my favorite map of them all. There are a lot of traps scattered around the map, like moving platforms and buttons that can open gates that lead to portals or lava. Or hell, even squash someone. Getting kills with some of these traps has been the most fun I've been having playing this game. Also, while I was recording footage for these two maps, players join my server, and it's always a scare because the game doesn't tell you when they join, only when they leave. The last map I'll talk about is DMC_DM3. There are a lot of large open areas. However, the lambda logos that give you powers are all really close to each other. So you can have quad damage, picking up protection while being almost invisible all at once. So, what happened to Deathmatch Classic? This game was meant to be a love letter to Quake and Quake fans alike. However, due to the high similarities between the two, it never got the chance to reach out the same heights as some of Valve's other FPS. But to be honest, I had my fun playing it. If you have this game in your library and have never played it, I recommend you to give it a try. It might be hard to find some servers with players or bots playing on it, but if you have a couple of friends that also have the game, try it out with them. As for this video, thanks for watching. And I hope I'll get to see you again.